Today we're talking with Kenny from Shelby's Diner and Town Square Diner. How you doing, Kenny?
I'm good. How you
Good.
doing?
Good. How was today? I heard you worked a shift.
It was good. It was a little bit slow, cold weather, and
Yep.
it's getting into like Thanksgiving season. So,
Are you guys normally busy around the holidays?
sometimes it can be like more week of is like pretty busy,
Yeah.
but the weeks like coming to it usually is decently slow.
Yeah. See, that's how we are at the Big Texan. Usually, definitely the week of. I mean, we're just slammed, but it all has to do with traffic. If
Yeah.
I-40 is busy, we're busy. If people are traveling, if they're driving, like we know we're going to be slammed. And usually this weekend to the end of November, we'll probably be slammed. First 2 weeks of December for us are just slow, and then after that, we're just slammed.
Yeah.
But January and February, that's our two slowest months, so you kind of got a nice little break there.
Yeah. Get to breathe a little bit.
Yeah, is it the same way for y'all? Are you guys busy January, February?
Uh, it it varies. Like last year or this year really, it was still pretty busy. Like we were kicking it. Like
Right. And last year you just had Shelby's. Now this year you have two restaurants.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot to handle, but
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, Town Square, you've been open for how long now?
5 weeks.
5 weeks. Yeah. And it's been a long time coming. I feel like you've been working on Town Square for a while.
Yeah, a little over 2 years.
Yeah.
We've been
Now,
working on it.
so you guys had like the plans to go in there. You had the restaurant set up, or how'd that work?
So we started with it. It took about 6 months working with like an architect on how to figure out what's gonna go where and all that. And Dad worked with them on that, and then another 6 months with like the city and dealing with all that permits and stuff. And then after that, it was building
And I think what took a lot of time for y'all, you went into it, you showed me, like it was literally dirt floors. There was no concrete poured, there was nothing
yeah,
yet. So
no,
that's probably why it took so long, especially with the city,
yeah,
right?
no plumbing, nothing.
Yeah. So
Mm,
you guys had to do it all from scratch, essentially. You couldn't just move all your stuff in and pop up and go.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Shelby's, there was a little bit of building involved, but nothing like that.
Yeah. So how long has Shelby's been around?
Almost 4 years. February will make four.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I was there like the first month you guys were open.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
remember Dad was like, yeah, you guys need to come try this place. And said it was at Tradewin Airport. And I went, really? Like Tradewin? We used to do the haunted house there. And we had a haunted house at Tradewin Airport maybe 4 years or so. And we would do it in one of the hangars.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So, like, I was a little kid running around Tradewin Airport, dressed up as a clown one night or something else. It's funny, actually, whenever I was a little kid, right? Dad would have us in the haunted house. I was like 12 or 13. And, we'd bring tour groups through the haunted house, but right at the front, they would have me right there and they'd say, oh, this little kid lost his group. Can he just go through the haunted house with you guys? And then I would go with them, maybe a minute or two, and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to go in this room. And then we had this big guy, his name was JJ, who'd bust open the store in a clown mask, grab me, and pull me out. And,
jeez,
dude, people freaked out. People lost their mind of this little kid getting taken. And they're like, I thought they couldn't touch us. Like, what's going on here? And this little kid just got kidnapped. But I remember, every October, man, I was at Tradewin Airport, and we did big, big haunted houses there. So it's so funny. All of a sudden, Dad came up to me. He's like, "Yeah, there's a restaurant there now." And sure enough, man, I'm there all the time. You see me
yeah.
probably 4 times a week.
I remember whenever I met your dad, Perry was in, and he came up to me and was like, "Have you met Bobby Lee?" I was like, "I don't even know who that is."
Yeah,
And he's like, "It's the king of restaurants right here."
yeah. Sounds like Perry.
Yeah.
Hyping him up. Yeah. It's like, oh, great. How you
Yeah.
doing, sir? How's your food?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was one of the big things. Like I had always thought, like working at the Hickory, I always wanted to meet the owners of the Big Texan.
Really?
I always did. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, even before Shelby's, you guys had the Hickory. And were you in? Where was that at?
In Vega.
Yeah. Did you guys live out there?
So we lived there while I was going to high school.
Mm.
So anytime that I was in school, we lived out there. But
Yeah.
that was like 8th grade through my senior year.
You guys had the Hickory forever.
Yeah. 14 years we
Wow.
had that. So
So, I mean, in high school, you were working in the restaurant.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's kind of how we were. The big Texan though, it was so big. I remember being a little kid, little kid, and I would roll like potatoes or I would cup up ranch.
Hmm.
And over time, it'd be like doing that. I'd start running appetizers. But we did a lot of things outside the Big Texan that I was usually involved in. So we catered Texas, supply Texas, and I was out there. It was a buffet line, so like you supply the buffet line, you take people's trays, you clean up trash, everything like a little kid could do, I did.
Yeah.
And you're also a little kid, so it was a lot of fun,
Yeah.
And I don't think mom and dad wanted to hire a babysitter, so basically, he'll just bring Patty out and he'll work for free, right?
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
not?
And then for a while, Tyler and I, my brother, we had like a snow cone stand out there. A little kid, right? Like
Yeah.
12 or 13 years old. And I remember I was so proud about serving snow cones. And I don't think we ever made like a ton of money, but it kind of got, my feet wet as far as especially high volume, right? I'm selling snow cones at Powder Canyon. It's
Yeah.
120 degrees out there.
Yeah. That's gonna be a big.
Yeah. And I remember intermission, the first one we ever did, we just got so slammed. And then ever since then, it's like right then and there, I learned about prep and everything. To me, the most important thing in a restaurant is prep.
Oh yeah, that's huge.
I tell the morning bartender at the Big Texan, it's like what you do now will like determine the outcome of the night.
Yeah.
If you have everything done, whenever the night crew gets here and then we get slammed, like we don't want to be looking for cutting limes, doing ice balls, making margaritas. Like everything needs to be there. And
Yeah.
prep is, in my opinion, like one of the most important parts of a restaurant.
Yeah.
Not having to worry in the middle of a shift, like, hey, are we running out of this? Are we running out of that? Do you have to take time out to go get it? If you can eliminate all those variables, like you will have a good night.
Yeah.
And that's something I learned just from 13 years old selling snow cones at Powder
Oh
Canyon.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. You guys are a little different though, because at Shelby's, you guys don't stay open for dinner, and it's Friday, Saturday, right? Or Thursday.
Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the same with Town Square.
Yep. We did add Saturday night to that one.
Yeah.
And so that it's a little bit. I mean, it's more work, but it's not like we already know what we're doing. You
Yeah.
know, it's
Which you guys do prime rib at night, right?
yes.
Thursday too?
No, we only do that on Fridays at Shelby's right now. We're working on getting it at Town Square, but that's in the future.
Prime rib
hopefully.
takes a long time to cook. So
Yeah.
have you guys ever ran out?
Oh yeah.
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 Oh, I imagine the customers coming in whenever you have to tell them, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a rough one.
Usually we try to keep like ribeyes on hand so that you have
Yeah.
at least a steak.
Yeah.
Of some type.
I'm sure that probably suffices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually they do all right with that.
Yeah. So, all right. So tell me a little bit about Shelby's, because first time I went in, I kind of got a feel for it. It's modeled after a guy named Shelby, right?
Shelby Kritzer. Yep.
Mhm.
So back in like the 40s, I believe, he founded the airport. Now, their name is pretty big in Amarillo. Like he had a huge ranch. He was in everything.
Mm.
And that guy had one of the most incredible lives that you could ever imagine. Like he was one of the first to, I think it was like to fly over the Atlantic or something like that, but it was like in a big, big plane. And so,
And he was here in Amarillo?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. And which he was part of a massive crew, you
Mm.
know.
Yeah.
But like he did some big things it was kind of a short life, you know. He died, I think he was maybe in his 50s, 60s max, I'd say. But he died in a plane accident out at International, and he was doing he was in an aerobatic stunt and
Mm.
went up and just went right back down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but anyways, so the restaurant's named after him, you know, just
Yeah.
in
Well, he's
memory
on the
of him.
logo.
Yeah.
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 So it was like a famous photo of him flying upside down over Tradewind.
Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize, I hate to say it, Kenny, but I didn't see the damn airplane in the lobby that's upside down
Yeah.
until like a year ago.
Yeah.
You know?
That airplane that's upside down there, that's actually his airplane. You know, it's got his tail number on it and everything.
Oh,
Like,
I thought he was like playing with it. It was like his toy.
no, no,
It's like
no.
him in the plane.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
yeah,
That's funny. It's kind of weird. My grandfather, he used to be a pilot. He had a plane. I think he had it at Tradewin.
yeah.
But after he died, we actually sold it. And dad was always like, he had that plane, but I never liked to fly with him because he's like, he said he never felt like he was in control of it.
Yeah.
He said it was terrifying. And I've I've only been in one plane like that in my life, and it was actually for skydiving.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and tell you what, like the plane was to me more nerve wracking than jumping out of the plane. It
Yeah.
really was. Like flying up there, it's a little tiny like tin can, and then whenever I was the last person to jump, right?
Mhm.
So, you watch all these people jump, and whenever they jump, the plane would just rock because of the weight
Jeez.
difference. Yeah. And then I was pretty happy to get off that plane.
Yeah, I
I was like,
bet.
yeah, I was in Hawaii. I was looking down at the island. I was like, all right, here we go.
Yep.
But it was quite the experience. um, so you guys had Shelby's and everything. You had the Hickory, but then you wanted to add one more restaurant. Did you ever want to keep the Hickory?
Yeah, so really we would still have it. Our biggest issue there was, finding people to work. It's been
Yeah.
hard anywhere you go,
Yeah.
And with with the Hickory, we knew that we were going to start. Uh, we wanted one in Amarillo. That was our bigger goal. And so Dad went looking one day. My mom had been telling him, go and look at it, Tradewin Airport, see if they got anything. Like,
That's
just
so random. Why
yeah,
would she think an airport?
just because she had heard about it. She used to go there as a kid with my grandpa, and
Was there a restaurant in there?
no,
Okay.
there was a long time ago. Now that was like, I want to say like 20 years ago,
Mm.
maybe 30. But
And it was in the same space you guys are in right now.
so yes and no. So that building actually, that's new. That's like only 10 years old or
Mm.
so. And so there was a building, the one that's you've seen the museum, that used to be the FBO, and that used to be where everybody met at,
God, it's such a
you know.
small building.
Yeah.
That's where the restaurant was?
Uh so the restaurant was where the FBO is now. There was
Oh.
there was a small restaurant
Okay,
right there.
so FBO is like the office there,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So then you guys are basically across the hall from where it used to be.
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you guys went in there and you're like, "Hey, you have this empty spot."
Yeah.
What was
And
that? What was it
and
before?
so nothing was in there. It was just a shell. Like they had planned on putting a restaurant there at some point, but they didn't know. They had a few people like offer to get in there,
Mhm.
but never could get anybody in. And a lot of people thought that it would fail. It's way out there. It's
Yeah, but I think that's why you guys are doing so well is because there's not many places on this side of I-27
right.
and below I-40. Like seriously, there's a few that are good, but your style, and name one.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we've always thought is with our food, because we try to do high quality, I'd rather quality over quantity any
Yeah.
day, and so we thought anywhere we go, the people will come. Like, just bring it to Amarillo and they'll show up.
That's a bet.
Yeah.
I would argue there's a lot of places that open up and they really depend on their quality to keep them going.
Yeah.
People can go get, fast food,
Yeah.
it's going to be quick, they're going to eat, they're going to be satisfied, but to go inside of a restaurant and spend, an hour and a half of your time there, to me I like having the experience,
Yeah.
Whenever I go to Shelby's, I like seeing the planes. I
Yeah.
think it's cool. I like seeing you. Like it's an experience to go there.
Yeah.
The food's great, but whenever people are going in and spending a lot of time, like you want to leave them with like a really good experience too.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm I'm with the big Texan, so
Yeah.
that's how I grew up. That's how I always I've kind of been taught. You have to. Good food is good, and it'll get you far. But to sell someone an experience that they can't get anywhere else, to me, is like that's the goal, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That's what we like to think about.
Yeah.
But I mean, y'all's food is fantastic. And, I've been to Hickory, I've been to Shelby's, I've been to Town Square, and it's all been great.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, you guys have phenomenal burgers. I eat
Yeah.
your burgers all the time. Funny story for the viewers listening. Kenny had some servers one time and they were like, "Oh, we're going to come in and try a 72-ounce steak. We're going to try a 72-ounce steak." And I was like, "That would be great." And I told them if they came in and tried it, I would eat 3 of their Shelby burritos, and they're massive, right?
Oh
I can
yeah.
come in and I put down 2,
Yeah.
like fairly regularly,
Right.
right? You're a witness of that.
Oh yeah.
But I remember I told you I'll do 3, and I went in there, and I mean, the girls, the servers, they came out, they ate the steak. They didn't eat the whole steak, which I didn't expect them to.
No.
But since I did that, I went back in and I had 3 breakfast burritos, and I was damn near out for the rest of the day. It really was.
That's a lot of food. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I still think about it. Like, how did I do that?
Yeah.
But I sit there and think, okay, if I had 3 burritos, I wonder if I could still eat the 72-ounce steak.
Yeah.
I did it back whenever I was 18, and it's not easy. I'll tell you that. It's really not. Some people make it look easy. And coming from me, like, I don't know how they do it. I can sit there and eat 3 of your breakfast burritos,
Yeah.
but I watch some people eat the 72-ounce steak in like 20 minutes and casually eat it.
Yeah.
And they get up like no problem. I had a guy order, he ate the steak in under 30 minutes, and he ordered calf rice to go. I mean, it's just insane.
I couldn't do it.
I don't know how they do it, but I'm
Yeah.
glad they do it.
Yeah.
Like people always think, "Oh, you gave them a free steak. That must be so bad." And it's like, no, it's great. They're happy. Like it
Yeah.
made the restaurant happy. It's a good experience for everybody.
Yeah.
I'd rather them win than to lose, to be
Right.
honest with you.
Yeah. Better for content too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Then people rather see a winner. People
Yeah.
you want people to be winners. Why
Yeah.
would I want people to lose? I want people to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But something else I don't even know if you know this. So whenever you go into Tradewind Airport, there's this picture like on that. It's next to the fireplace, and it's of this guy and his wife.
Mhm.
Do you ever know that guy?
I didn't personally.
Yeah. So that guy, his name is Charlie. And whenever I was a kid, like I was like 10 years old, Charlie used to come out to the Big Texan with Siberian tigers, full grown, and then he had usually like 2 cubs. Sometimes he'd bring a kangaroo, and he always brought this monkey. And I remember being a kid, and he'd let us play with the baby tigers and stuff. But he had this huge, it might as well call it a zoo. Like it was this massive facility on the north side of town.
Hmm.
I swear he had like 90 tigers. Coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. But he would come out and he would, have this monkey that would steal people's like money out of their hand
Yeah.
and stuff. And like, really funny. It was like wearing a diaper. It was all like in good taste. But
Yeah.
yeah, he was actually there in a picture frame. And he actually died in a plane accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew about that.
Yeah. But he was a really cool guy. There's so many people that go in and out of Tradewind Airport. You probably see tons of different people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from all over.
Yeah. I have there's one guy, actually this is really cool. He flies from California to he works at I want to say Auburn. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Auburn. It's one of those 2 rival schools. It's either like Clemson or Auburn.
So he
Auburn.
flies to California, but he works at Auburn.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I guess his like his kids are in California or something. But this guy, he's come in here so much. Like he's one of my regulars. He knows my name. He knows all my servers' names. Like he knows everybody. And whenever he was working throughout his life, he actually worked with like building Stephen Hawking's computers. Yeah.
Steve, what do you mean, Stephen Hawking's computer? Like
Like
the computer that talked?
yeah.
Do what?
Yeah, he was big into that. Like, and he did a lot with people with ALS, and like he was big in
And
the
so he's flying from Auburn. He probably stops to refuel at
Yep.
Tradewind,
Yep.
and he goes to California.
yeah,
And this guy worked on Stephen Hawking's, would you
Yeah.
say a chair or computer?
yeah, the computer. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's all like in one, I guess,
right.
right? God, it's crazy.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he knew him like pretty well. Like they
Oh,
were
you-
pals,
you-
because of that. So
You talked to him about it?
I did. Yeah. I watched actually there was a podcast about it, and I came across it, and I was like,
Wait, a podcast with the guy?
with that guy. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And so I watched that and I was like, this dude's done some really cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember pulling up there and one of the tail fins of a plane had the Love's Truck Stop logo on it.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably see business people in and out of there all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that. There's one plane that comes in and it's a real nice jet, but it's got MW on the back, and every time that it comes in, I'm like, hey, that's Morgan Wallen's jet. They're like, no way.
Dude, your servers would freak out. They'd be doing a backflip.
Oh yeah.
If Morgan Wallen walked in.
Yeah.
Couldn't even imagine. So kind of back to like you growing up, how old were you whenever you first started working in like the Hickory?
13.
13. What were you doing?
Dishwashing mostly. I did a lot with like serving,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody wondered if this was against the law, making the child labor law.
I mean, I don't know. I was young too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, I wasn't,
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I couldn't be there or I was being forced to do something I didn't want to. I always enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought it was a blast.
Yeah. I don't think back then I don't know if I was even getting paid, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a little kid. What do you know?
I got sometimes I got tips like every now and again throughout the week.
Yeah.
And that was cool because that was like the first time that I had actually had cash in my hands.
Oh, it
and
probably
I was
felt like $1 million.
oh yeah. I was like, man, let's go to All Subs. I'll get whatever y'all want.
Buy burritos for everybody. Yeah. So you were going through high school. Did you always want to be in the restaurant business?
Yes and no. So it came time. I guess it was like my senior year, and everybody was like saying what they wanted to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of, it was Vegas, so you got a lot of farmers and ranchers, and they're going to go to school for like agriculture or whatever. And I wasn't doing any of that. And then you had some that were wanting to be like optometrists or some kind of doctor or something like that. And I was like, man, I don't know. I'm not that smart, so I'm not ready for any of that. Yeah. And I was like, I know the restaurant business pretty well. I'm happy here.
Yeah. It's funny when I know the exact feeling you're talking about, because people always, whenever you're in high school, be a doctor, I'm going to go be an engineer and all that.
Yeah.
And I would sit there and be like, I don't know what I want to do, you know, and go ask Dad and be like, what do you think? And he would literally say, I don't even know what I want to do.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know what I want to be whenever I grow up.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess whenever you grow up in it, it's hard to ever imagine being away from it,
Yeah.
And I mean, there was things I wanted to do, but I went off to college, really like doing like the marketing and advertising, like what Dad did. Mm-hmm. And I kind of stuck with that. I learned a lot about graphic design, web design. And then I brought a lot of that into the restaurant, but most of it you just couldn't teach in a school. And I see people go to school for like culinary and restaurant management.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, man, you could just work for me.
Yeah.
You could learn everything you need to know just by literally working a year at the Big Texan. I mean, you could learn damn near all there is to a restaurant. But I was always surprised. I knew people going to school for the restaurant industry and all that. And most of the time, whenever you talk to them, they have the idea of going to like work for Disney or like a cruise ship,
right?
Something like that, which is great. But and a lot of people don't have a restaurant, like a family restaurant they can work in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they see it on TV. I don't know if you agree with me on this, but I think like a lot of these TV shows kind of glamorize it. They don't show like the real nitty gritty part of being in the restaurant.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
And it's like, great. You can make one dish perfectly for this judge with the perfect kitchen, no POS system, no server. And then you get actually into a restaurant. There's so many different variables like they are not showing on TV.
Yeah. And, one of the big things with that is if you're going to get like if you're talking like, let's say the Ramsay show,
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, yeah.
I said Dave Ramsay. Not the finance show, the chef show. Yeah.
With his, like, you don't see any of the like special requests,
No.
right? And it's like they are. There is plenty
Oh,
of
yeah.
special requests. Like,
All the modifications.
yeah,
And whenever people start making those modifications, it's like, this guy's so particular. There's no way I can satisfy
no,
all these modifications.
right, never.
Or just, I mean, I think they showed it one time on Gordon Ramsay where someone called in that couldn't come in, so they had to fill in. Like, it was like, okay, this is legit. This is what
Yeah,
happens. Like today, I had to work the bar. My bartender was sick. Like, no one could cover, so I had to work it.
hmm,
And I mean, there's things like that, but they really don't show like the time you have to spend in a restaurant. It's not just like one day I'm in, one day I'm out. Like, if you own a restaurant, I'm sure it's the same way with you. It's always in your mind. Like, if you're at home,
yeah,
it's probably in your mind what you have to do tomorrow in the restaurant. It's probably the problems that you had during the day and how you're thinking you can fix them for the week,
yeah.
you know?
There's a lot.
Yeah. And especially if you're doing the ordering. Did I order
Yeah,
enough? Is the truck going to be late? Are they going to be out of this? Where am I going to get that? That all goes through your head, whether you're in the restaurant or not.
yeah,
I mean, call it what it is. I mean, it's a 24/7 job.
yeah,
It really is.
definitely.
Yeah. One interesting thing I was going to talk to you about, um, my uncle Danny, he had a really interesting perspective. One time I was talking to him and he said doing a smaller restaurant would make him more nervous than doing a big restaurant. Because he says, if it's a small restaurant, I'm sure you can attest to this, like you are everything. I mean, you're the plumber, you're the janitor, you're IT,
Oh yeah,
you are literally everything. With the big restaurant, you have a lot more wiggle room. But I was just gonna tell you that and see what you thought.
yeah. I I could agree with that. Uh, I kind of like we like to compare ourselves. Anybody does
Yeah.
to any other restaurant, but you look at a restaurant like us where I might have 4 servers, right? How many servers do y'all have?
Probably over 200.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like if one of mine goes out, then I have 3.
Yeah.
One of yours goes out, how many you got?
Oh,
Like,
so many.
yeah,
And so many of them offer their shifts or they pick up.
yeah,
But even on that, Kenny, one server goes out. Okay, great. I'll be a server for today.
right,
Right. But what if your, kitchen guy goes out?
right.
Yeah. Then what
I
do you
mean,
do?
exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a
See,
lot of issues.
I think that's what Danny was talking about. There's not a lot of wiggle room with the small
Yeah,
restaurant. And on top of that, the margins of a restaurant are so small. That's a part probably in the cooking shows no one ever talks about
yeah,
is the overhead. You literally have a perishable product. You're making like cents on the dollar a lot of the
yeah,
times. I always think back. I went down to Taste of Texas, big steakhouse, really good steakhouse. He's been there, I mean, probably as long as the Big Texan, right? And I was really lucky. We got to go meet him. We got to sit through a meeting with him. But the one thing that guy told me, it was so important to him. He said, "Do you own the land and the building?" And we said, "Yeah." And he said, "That's so critical for a restaurant is to own the land and the building." Because he said most restaurants go out because what happens is you start doing really well and your landlord's like, "Hey, you're doing pretty well. Like, why don't I up the rent,
yeah,
the next time around?" And it was so important his name was Ed Hindy. It was so important to him. He would introduce us that way. Like the managers of the restaurant would come and, oh, these guys are from the Big Texan, but they own the land and the building.
wow,
Yeah. And I was like, why is it, it took me some time to really think about it, but I was like, why is that so important to him? I mean, if I took away anything from him, it was that. And he's like an old school guy. I mean, it was probably as close as I could get to seeing somebody like my grandfather or his uncle working in a restaurant, just very old school, no bullshit. You get things done the right way or you don't do them, you
hmm,
know.
yeah,
I was really lucky to be able to go meet that guy. So would like to go down and see how he's doing. That was
yeah,
like 4 years ago or so.
yeah,
Really, really cool restaurant though. Really good guy. Um, like I said, he's been around forever. He had a story about him and his wife. Whenever they first got married, they were going to Colorado for their honeymoon, and he drove up here. And he's like, "Yeah, we went to the Big Texan. Remember we drove through Amarillo?" And he's like, "Yeah, we went through a drive-through and we picked up like some coffee or something, but we wanted to be there."
yeah,
And I was like, "All right, first off, didn't know we had a drive-through at
yeah.
any point, but I guess we did." And he still says he still has the little Big Texan coffee
Huh,
cups that we
that's
sold
cool.
him. Yeah, he's a really cool guy. But let's go back to So you get out of high school. Did you go to college?
Like very minimally. You
Yeah.
know, I never made it to a degree or anything like that.
Where'd you go?
Amarillo College.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. What the reason being probably just because you wanted to just start working and the restaurant needed you.
Yeah. I did my first year. Now, this was right out of high school, and I now had the opportunity to either go or don't go. And I was like, well, this is not fun. Like,
Yeah. No.
I hate this.
Yeah.
So I slacked off pretty hard my first year. And so after that, I was like, okay, I'm just going to enjoy my first few years, like not having anything but work to do.
Yeah.
And so I took off and I only did like 2 classes that semester. And then I didn't go back until the semester right before we opened Shelby's. And whenever I took those classes, I was in a supervisory class, and it was kind of almost like an elective, but I learned so much from that class. The the guy that taught it, was he worked for Toot and Totem, but he started at the bottom just as like a janitor,
Hmm.
and he made it all the way up to like training everybody that goes into
So
there.
it was like a management class.
Yeah, supervisory management.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was like that class taught me so much as far as like what my job was is, I'm management over Shelby's or Town Square or whatever.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from that.
Yeah, dude, I remember. So I didn't go to a university to begin with. I did a JUCO in Dallas.
Hmm.
My JUCO professors, I would rate them over my university because, dude, they were people like that. They actually worked, and sometimes they were teaching and working at the same time, or sometimes they were retired. But tell you what, my JUCO professors were like the people to talk to because
Yeah.
they actually lived it.
Yeah.
You know,
They went through it.
they did.
You
They
know?
had like the real experience to tell you everything that they don't tell you in the books.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, you went from the Hickory to Shelby's. So you're like you're the manager at Shelby's, right?
Right.
Yeah. So who's the manager at Times Square?
I don't know. I guess Dad. I've been bouncing around so much. It's like
Yeah.
like I would almost put Katie more, my sister more at Shelby's
Yeah.
as the manager there than, and then I would be Town Square.
So do you start your day at Shelby's and then you bounce to Town Square?
Normally, yeah. I normally wait till about 9 o'clock. Usually that's the slowest for both restaurants. And so I can be at Shelby's until 9 and then go over there to Town Square for lunch when it
Yeah.
gets like crazy busy. Yeah.
That's so good though, Kenny.
Yeah.
You know, God, even Shelby's, if I'm like, okay, if I leave for lunch right now, I'll get to Shelby's or Town Square at 12:30. But I'm like, he's gonna be on a wait. You know,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of those days.
Yeah.
Shelby's been like just as busy, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been good. I really thought that we were going to take away some business.
Yeah,
but that didn't take anything,
that's great.
Yeah.
I thought that too. I was like, okay, all the Shelby people are gonna be at Town Square now. Or
Right.
like, what are we gonna do? But no.
Because I knew before that I was taking people or getting people from the colonies or
Mhm.
greenways and stuff like that, but they're still coming to Shelby's just as much.
Yeah.
I still get a lot at Town Square. That say, man, this is so much more convenient. We're gonna start coming out here a lot, but they're still showing up to Shelby's.
I like the location. Honestly, both of them work out for me perfectly because
Yeah.
I got one that's by the Big Texan, and then
Yeah.
I got one that's by my house.
Yeah.
So I do, man. If you were to be open for dinner, that'd make me really happy.
Yeah.
During the weekdays.
They're
Do you guys-
pushing for it.
Yeah. Do you guys do takeout or anything?
Yeah. Yep. So that's actually going to be big for those apartments.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have anything that was like home, like burgers.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting a lot for that.
I could see that. They're coming. They're probably walking down.
Yeah.
Just ordering at the counter.
Walk across the street. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. So your dad was in the restaurant business all of his life too.
Yep. So he started when he was 14. He's done a few other things. Like I told you, he worked at uh like a nuclear submarine kind
That's
of
wild.
place. Yeah, that was pretty
So
cool.
he
But
worked on the nuclear submarine or like in the nuclear submarine?
uh, so he worked not in it, on it. It was it was kind of a government contracted job. Like I know he worked. Like his dad worked there, and so he got the job kind of through his dad.
Mm.
And
But
like
it wasn't like food.
no,
Okay.
no, it was like you're painting and stuff like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, like lead paint and
The good stuff.
yeah, yeah. He was telling me uh, they would they would paint these almost like a rubber mat that goes on the outside of the sub, and it's supposed to protect against like the sonar stuff or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Like
It like deadens it or
yeah,
whatever.
and if they fall off, they sink because they're filled with lead, and
Yeah.
so they'll sink, and so nobody can like steal our patents or anything like that. Or
Well, that's what you hope, right?
yeah.
Until yeah. So how did he get into the restaurant after doing the submarine work?
So I don't really know. Like the timeline is kind of weird for me, and so I don't know exactly when he did that or anything. But I know he was in and out of, like he worked under some pretty like incredible chefs, and that's where he learned all of his stuff. He actually tells me all the time that the the stuff that we do, the burgers and the chicken fried steaks, like this is the first time he's ever done this.
Hmm.
And normally his specialty is like the fancy stuff,
Yeah.
like what you'd get at Metropolitan or
Hmm.
whatever. And a lot of the stuff that he likes to do is that, is the fancier, the nicer,
Yeah.
you know.
You know what's funny about that? My great, not my great grandfather, my grandfather, the one that opened the Big Texan,
Hmm.
he was like that.
Really?
So yeah, so his dad, he did, the foo kind of food and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. And then his brother, he had a brother named Don Lee, and he had a big restaurant in Kansas City called the Savoy.
Hmm.
And it was just like what you're talking about, like lobster, seafood.
Yeah.
Like he fed presidents. Like he
Yeah.
had presidents that had a booth. Every time they'd come in, like the president was going to sit here.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, they come from that background, but I guess whenever my grandfather came here, like he knew like steaks and cattle, like this is what you want to do. This is what you want to serve here,
Hmm.
and that's kind of what led him to the Big Texan. He wanted to show something off that we're known for. It'd be like going up to Maine. You want to have lobster, right?
Right.
You go to Maine, you want lobster, you want oysters, that kind of thing. And he came to Amarillo, and he's like, "Why is no one doing this?"
Yeah.
I'm on. He found a spot on Route 66. He's like, "Why don't we just do steaks? Like, why don't we have the biggest steak we can like offer?" And not only that, but people coming from up north, they're getting steak for a great price. It's just like us going to Maine. Like it's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if they do a 72-ounce steak lobster or a 72-ounce lobster challenge
Yeah.
in Maine, but maybe someone should jump on that,
Yeah.
man. But
That's actually where Dad's from, is New Hampshire. That's where he was born. And that's where he learned everything,
yeah,
and so seafood is like the most high class type of
yep,
eating.
yep.
And so that's why he's great at it.
Yeah. So then he came to Amarillo and he's like, I guess I have to do a chicken fried steak and mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He so whenever he came to Amarillo, he did do he worked at a few different, like he worked at country clubs. Um he was the Whenever I was born, he was working at the Dalhart Country Club. Um Managed that for a few years,
Hmm.
and worked for Amarillo Country Club, Tascosa Country Club. Uh, he's been,
All over.
yeah,
Yeah. And so he wanted to just do his own restaurant at some point.
yeah. That was always the goal, right? Like, Dad had always dreamed of, I want my own spot, and whenever he was working at Taco Bueno. I guess that was kind of the longest place that he ever stayed at, and he got hired on like at for a general manager position, so store manager,
Hmm.
and he did really well there, and, like, I remember, people even talk about his stores were the best today,
Yeah, it's
they'll
probably
still say
nothing
it.
for him. He's
Yeah.
probably coming from these high-end, high-volume restaurants, and to go to a Taco Bueno, it's like
Yeah,
it's nothing.
that's easy,
Yeah.
yeah, and so he excelled with that really well. We actually moved to, Tulsa. He was told that he was gonna get brand new restaurant out there and then later become, like, a district manager and, work his way up
Mhm.
even more, and, on his way out there, he got told that he was gonna be at the worst location, and he
Mhm.
needed to, like, build it back up, get it back to being a good store because
Yeah.
he could do it. If anybody could do it, he could do it, and I believe that, and, so we lived there for, like, 3 months, somewhere around there,
Mhm.
and, he just hated it, and so he was like, "That's it, I'm done." So,
Wow.
whenever we came back, we had a friend that talked to us about the hickory, and, they were like, "We'll help you get started," and so
Yeah.
we got the hickory, and it was
What
off to the races.
So he bought the Hickory. Was the Hickory already a thing whenever he bought it? It was
S
like a pre-existing restaurant?
Yeah, so, I guess the hickory has been around not as the hickory, it started as the char beef, like, that's the name of the restaurant,
Char
the
beef.
char beef, and
Okay.
there was a little picture in the hickory that was, like, that big, and it was, like, the original building,
Huh.
and it was, whenever we got there, it was all gray, and so we painted it and, you know, did a remodel, and it took us a long time to get it to where it is now,
It's
you
such an
know?
interesting location to pick,
Yeah,
of all places.
yep.
Yeah.
Whenever we got the hickory,
Is the Hickory is that on Route 66?
yes,
Okay,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, I was actually and one of the things that I thought of doing, like, if we didn't sell it, which we did sell it back to the people that we bought it from,
Mhm.
actually, so that was pretty cool.
They
Good for
wanted it
them.
back.
They wanted it back,
What
yeah.
are they gonna do?
Open it back up as a restaurant,
Really?
just like they did it back in the day, yeah. And they'll do a great job with it,
Yeah.
they're awesome people.
That's cool. It's a good
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah, and, I always thought, though, if we didn't sell it, turn it into, like, a Route 66 gift shop or
Yep.
something like that, like
Oh, I tell you what, I mean, you got the Route 66 Centennial coming up. That'd been the move, but I really hope after this 100th year like celebration of Route 66, it's either gonna bring back a lot of things on Route 66, or this is like the goodbye.
and
That's what I've been worried about.
Yeah,
Because to tell you the truth, domestically, Route 66, I don't think is popular with it's not as popular with locals in America as it is with like international traffic.
oh, yeah.
International people love it. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's a great market for it, but I mean, people mine and your age, I don't even think they would know it. I really don't. They
Yeah.
know it from cars that they saw whenever they were 10 years old. And I don't know, maybe this whole celebration and the 100th year anniversary will kind of bring it back.
Yeah.
It'd be great. It's a really cool deal. I'm surprised more influencers don't just go down Route 66 and showcase all the businesses on Route 66.
Is Big Texan actually on Route
So
66?
here's the deal. Here's the tricky part, Kenny. So it originally was,
Right.
right? Like I've been back to that building. I've taken tours to that building, and like we go through it. And we talk about how the Big Texan, like this is the original building,
Which was the old Underwoods.
right? And
Okay.
I tell you the truth, Kenny, it's probably about the size as like Town Square. It wasn't like very big,
Okay.
So what happened was Route 66 was coming to a close, right? And they
Mhm.
said, well, we're going to build a new interstate system, and Grandpa heard that, and the first thought in his mind is like, oh shit, there goes all my traffic.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, where are you guys going to build the interstate system? And so we have this piece of land over here, a little bit south of Route 66. And dude, my grandfather had a plot of land where the new interstate system was going to go. He didn't buy it because he thought that. He bought it because he wanted to put a liquor store outside of city limits. So he bought that piece of property to put a liquor store there.
Mm.
And all of a sudden he finds out, like, oh, you guys are just relocating the highway to my new property? Great. And then he built the new Big Texan.
Yeah.
I mean, how lucky is that? If he didn't have that property, odds are like the Big Texan on Route 66 would not be around.
Right.
Definitely not around to this day. And he even talks about as soon as I-40 opened, Route 66 died. He said there's nobody in his restaurant. Everyone was taking the highway. So we moved it. But your question was, are we on Route 66? Technically, we're not, but it's still like the same spirit, right?
Right.
All the traffic's on I-40 now. It's we definitely claim the roots to it. You know,
Yeah.
that if it wasn't for Route 66, we wouldn't have started the Big Texan.
Yeah.
You
Because
know,
I know Bobby's like big into Route 66.
Mhm.
You know, he's a big advocate
well,
for it.
dude,
you
whenever
know?
he was a kid, that was it. Like that was the highway. He remembers seeing it full of cars. Everyone would take Route 66, and he saw the Big Texan grow from Route 66. So to him, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
To me, it's like I never experienced that. You know,
Right.
I never saw that. So it's hard for me to kind of get into it on that level, like what he does. But you know, it's just maybe the celebration and kind of highlighting some of the cool stops will kind of help bring it back.
What do you think brought the foreigners to Route 66
Dude,
to
me and
love it?
Dad, we sit there and we talk about that all the time because we did a trip to Italy. Dude, you see Route 66 everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, everywhere. Like all the signs, all like the merchandise, and it's like, gosh, like this is crazy. They're so I don't know why the international market loves it, but the Germans, they love it. They like to get the Harley Davidsons from Chicago and drive
Yeah.
it all the way to California. And I'm happy they do. It's great. It's
Yeah.
good business for everyone on Route 66.
Yeah.
Why they like it, I guess because it's a built-in itinerary of America,
Yeah.
right? Because it's like, okay, Americans drive. You go to Italy and Europe, they really don't drive. Like they probably don't even have cars. They take trains, they take taxis, they take buses. They have great public transportation. So all of a sudden they hear, oh, there's this huge highway that you can drive across America on
Yeah.
with a car or motorcycle. Dude, they love it. It's like we take for granted how far you can drive in America, right?
Yeah.
We have a great interstate system.
Oh yeah.
And to them, it's unheard of. If there was okay, think about this. If there was a road like Route 66 that cut all the way across Europe, I would probably want to go do that. I
Yeah.
would want to go rent a car and drive across that,
It'd be
right?
pretty cool.
It'd be
Yeah.
awesome. So, I mean, if you put it in that perspective, it's like, yeah, I understand the excitement,
Yeah.
you know? But tell you what, I think Amarillo will definitely see a big uptick in like international traffic next year. I
Yeah.
really think so.
I know whenever I was going through high school, like summers would
Mhm.
come around and I'm working every day in the summer, right? And I would meet so many people that were like from Italy,
Yeah.
Germany, France, you know, like everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that after COVID happened, that almost died.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yep.
was like huge cut.
You're right on the money on that because that was a huge drop in international traffic.
Oh yeah.
Have we recouped? I don't know. You know, we used to have a lot of Australian tour groups before COVID. Always like the Kentucky tour group,
Mm-hmm.
we were packed, and it was this big bus tour that would go through with Australians, and it's slowly have come back. But tell you what, it's not like what it used to be.
No.
It's not. I wouldn't even say it's anywhere close. And man, that's an unfortunate part of COVID. I don't know. Maybe this is the opportunity to bring it all back.
Yeah.
You know, let's hope so.
Yeah.
It's a good deal for everyone.
I think we, as people from Amarillo or maybe even Texas, but
Mhm.
I think more so Amarillo, we didn't really see what COVID did,
No,
you
we're
know?
in our own world.
Yeah. And it was nice. Like it was rough there for a minute,
Yeah.
but it was nice.
Were you guys
Like,
open at Shelby's with COVID?
no.
Okay,
No.
so just at the Hickory?
Yeah.
You guys were probably fine, right? Did you guys take it serious?
So not really. It was
Yeah.
Vega. I mean,
Yeah.
there's like 1,000 people in Vega. Now, we knew people that got hit with it and hit hard,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And with at the Hickory, I remember it was like we had to do like a week of all to go orders, you know.
Yeah.
And then maybe a week or two later, we were able to open back up at like 50%.
Yep.
And
50%.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Man, I'll tell you what, we did the 50% for, I think, a day,
Yeah.
and, then the judge came and was like, "Alright, we could do 75 because like, we're
Because I'm
small."
hungry and I
Yeah.
want to eat.
It's a small town, and so we were like, "Okay, we'll do 75." So we took, like, some chairs and put them back, and all we did to, like, do the 50% was, in the 6-foot thing, is put a chair on a table, right? Like, just flip the chair over and put it on the table. Like, we still had them there, but we just flipped it over and, like, now that table's, like, not available.
Okay.
I remember after we did the 75%, that place filled up so much that
Hmm.
everybody took the chairs off the tables, and the judge was in the room eating, and he didn't say
Of
one
course he
thing.
didn't.
No, he was just eating his food, and, we were all just happy to, like, get business,
Yeah.
Like, finally.
Dude, I remember that. So we did the takeout, like where you're talking about,
Mhm.
and it was only truck drivers, right? Because they kept going. Truck
Yeah.
drivers didn't stop.
No.
Like they just had to, right? Everyone else could like take time off, but dude, the trucking industry like kept on,
Yeah.
and there's no place for them to eat, right? And what we did, we would take like phone orders or online calls or online orders, and I would drive them out to truck stops, and dude, we were delivering to truckers at the truck stops, like their trucks. We did that for like a week or two, but hopefully that was the only time in my life I'll ever see the Big Texan like so empty,
Yeah.
right? It was so empty and quiet, and like you'll never see the Big Texan like that, especially at 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
What a scary time! Like there was definitely a week period. You don't know what's going on. You're just seeing the news, seeing all these restaurants close down. And we did what y'all did. All of a sudden, you shut down. I think we shut down for like a week, and it's horrible. Hated it. I
Oh, yeah.
hated sitting at home. I wanted to be
Yeah.
at work, and you just don't know how long it's going to last. And then they did the thing, the 50% rule. But see, we had the Palace, like it's an outdoor area behind the Big Texan, and so we had that. I don't know the capacity, but it probably wasn't over 50%. But it was like what you were saying. Like people were coming in so happy to eat in a
Yeah.
restaurant and just be out, just be with people. And we had people driving up from like Dallas, like Lubbock. These people were coming in to eat at a restaurant. They like craved it so much. They missed being out. And not only that, we had that traffic, but New Mexico, super strict on the rules.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you couldn't even stop at a gas station and go inside in New Mexico. So these people were going through New Mexico, and then we were like the first place they can stop and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And they were just so happy. It's like how it sucks for New Mexico. All those businesses that couldn't be open, they were the first place they were stopping in was like places like Amarillo or Vega,
Yeah.
and definitely weren't turning anyone away.
No.
I'll tell you that.
We did, right before the week of closing,
Mhm.
we had a bunch of meat that we needed to sell, and we were watching all of these, like Walmart or
Mhm.
Target or United selling meat and selling out of meat.
Yep.
And that was the big thing, it was selling out.
Yep.
But we could still get it, even through our food service providers, we could still get meat anytime.
Or toilet paper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane.
I remember we had a bunch of perishables. So whenever we were going to shut down, like just, your regular groceries, we actually gave all of our perishables out to our employees. So
Yeah,
they came up, we loaded up like a bag for them, and they took it home. But how weird, man. How
yeah,
weird it was to go through that. And what made it even stranger, it was whenever shit was really starting to hit the fan. And it's like, I don't know what's going to happen here. So Starlight for sure wasn't going to happen,
no.
right? They canceled Coachella. I was like, if they cancel Coachella, we are done. Like,
Yeah,
we are not opening. And so eventually got to Texas. Yeah, you can't do any concerts. That's what they
right.
call it, a mega spreader event.
Okay,
they had that name
yeah,
for it. And then I remember I was like, oh, no, what's going to happen with the restaurant? The mayor at the time called in like this meeting. It was where I forgot the place's name. It's over there by Cadillac or Guitars and Cadillacs on that street. All the people that own restaurants went to this meeting, And she was up there. She's like, "We do not plan to close down restaurants. We intend for y'all to stay open."
Right.
I swear the next day they came on the news like, "Yeah, we're shutting it down."
Yeah. Like, come on.
Yeah, I remember that. But I remember we took it serious for like a week, and then after that, it's like, come on, what are we gonna do? We're just
Yeah.
gonna sit here and just like fall over dead,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. One thing that I learned being at the Hickory is like some people that retire, especially like old people,
Yeah,
right? Is once they retire and they stop getting out and doing things, right?
yep,
They pass pretty
they do.
fairly quickly. And
There's a
that
saying. There's that to retire is to expire.
right.
Yeah,
And with COVID, I mean, I swear like 4 or 5 people just dropping,
yeah,
and it's like you're not letting them go, just have a cup of coffee,
yeah.
and
Just get out,
that helps. Just going out and getting a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's kind of a you don't want to like them to get sick by going out and seeing people, but man, to keep them cooped up, not moving, not exercising, was it really the best thing? I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah.
But on that, I don't personally know anyone that died of COVID. I know people that got really sick, but I don't personally know anyone that like died from
Yeah.
COVID. I mean, I've had COVID. I had COVID more. I had to get a booster because I was going to leave the country. I was going to go on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got like 2 boosters. I got COVID like I think 3 times after.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well this didn't work.
My friend's mother passed away
Really?
from it. Yeah.
God, it's
And
horrible.
it was bad.
Yeah.
It was
So did she pass whenever it was like really bad or
she
later
was
on?
she was the first one in Vega that did it. Yeah.
Oh, it's
And it was
horrible.
like, yeah. That's what freaked everybody out.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That would freak me out.
Yeah.
And
And
you heard about people getting really sick and you
right.
just didn't know. Did you ever get COVID?
Yeah, I had it one time. It was kind of funny actually. I got it and it was still like COVID season.
Yeah.
And I was with my girlfriend at the time and we kind of both had it and
Kind of both.
yeah. And whenever I got home, I was living with my roommate Aaron and he comes home and he's like, "Here, I spilt this all over myself." So he made me smell his jacket. N- I couldn't smell a thing, I couldn't taste, I couldn't smell, I
Oh,
couldn't
so
do
you were doing the
anything.
smell test on
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
and which he didn't know that. I never told him that I even had it,
Did he get it?
much later,
Okay.
like 3 or 4 months later,
Yeah.
right? And so I smelt his jacket and he's like, "What's it smell like?" I was like, "I don't know, something funky."
Wow.
He's like, "That's gasoline." I was like, "Golly."
And you couldn't even smell
I
it?
couldn't smell it at all, not even the
Wow.
slightest.
I kind of got that, but it never I I kind of just felt like I had a cold. It
Yeah,
wasn't even like a fever.
mm,
Never I mean, I barely even coughed,
yeah,
to tell you the truth. Kenny, I probably had it 3 or 4 times.
yeah,
But now, who do you hear that has COVID? I haven't heard the last, like, maybe a year,
yeah,
anyone having COVID.
mm-mm,
It's crazy, like, all that really happened. You sit there, it's like, just the idea that the Big Texan could ever close or
yeah,
be forced to close.
right,
It's unreal that restaurants had to go through that. And, it's funny, you literally forget about it, but it
yeah,
was such a crazy time. I mean, even Starlight, like, not doing Starlight, we kind of did. We did this. They made you do a deal where you had to serve food, and so we had to serve food during the shows,
mhm,
and they had to like buy food with their ticket. It was I don't know why they just made us do it, and it
yeah,
wasn't like we were doing big shows or anything like that. I do remember we had Cody Johnson like lined up to play, right? I think that might have been like one of the first shows of the year. It was in 2020. I remember sitting there thinking, wow, like we're gonna have to cancel this. This is supposed to be a big, big show. And then what was it 2023? We got him booked again for April. It's supposed to be a big show. Big, big show. I think the week before or the week of he got sick. I think he might have got COVID too. And then we had to cancel.
hmm,
Yeah, we canceled him and then we rescheduled it. And then that time we got him, man, it was the biggest show we ever did.
yeah.
Huge show. And
It was like 9,000 people, wasn't
oh
it?
yeah, at least 9,000. It was out in the field, but I remember, man, it was almost good that we didn't have them yet because we were not ready to
No.
handle 9,000 people. So it was like you kind of we had 2 trial runs, and me and Tyler, we set up everything for it. We had all the beer, the bartenders, the beer stations all lined up,
Mhm.
did all the work, and then it got canceled over and over. So you kind of get, it was this weird way to get trial runs. And then finally, whenever we got it, big show. We sold so much beer at the Budweiser truck, they had to bring another Budweiser truck.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was great. Still one of my favorite nights I've ever had as far as like work or anything. But I remember he got so I don't know what happened. I could probably talk to my cousin a little bit more about it, but were you at that show?
I wasn't there.
So Cody Johnson, we did the openers. Cody's about to come out. Big like intro, big build up, like TV's going crazy with all these graphics, getting real loud. And as soon as like Cody took a step on stage, just boom,
Oh, jeez.
power went out, right? And the way my cousin describes it, they had 2 generators and they hooked up everything to one. And he's like, you guys really probably want to split this. You don't want to put it all in one generator. They didn't do that. So all of a sudden the power goes out and people are like, what is going on? Right? You got 9,000 people here, like ready to see Cody Johnson. About 10, maybe 10 minutes later, they, got it all hooked up correctly and got the show going. But it was like, man, we had to cancel it 2 other times. And as soon as he stepped foot on that stage, the power went out.
Yeah.
It's like everything was against us to get him here. But finally he played, we got the show done, and it was great.
Yeah. But you and Pat Tyler told me one time that you love it whenever the equipment messes up.
Well, what happened, we definitely don't love it. I'll tell you that because it stresses me out tremendously.
Right.
But what happens is whenever you have a delay or something like that in the show,
Yeah.
your beer lines just get super long. People
Yeah.
are sitting there, they have nothing else to do. It's like, well, I'm almost empty on my beer. I'll go get another one, which, it's kind of bittersweet. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't like seeing the show, not be able to go on. But at the same time, you guys
Yeah.
want an extra beer too? I'll
Yeah.
be able to sell one.
Yeah.
It's almost like in a bonus intermission,
Yeah.
essentially.
And the one thing that I liked, because I had gone to see somebody at Starlight, and I went and watched them one year, and then y'all had the same guy the next year, and I watched that one too, and I was like, this was the same exact thing.
Yeah, a
And
lot of the shows are all choreographed.
right,
Even the things they say in between songs are
right.
sometimes like
I
written
mean,
and scripted.
it was identical,
Yep.
and
Um,
and that was something that I mentioned to y'all, and you were like, well, it's more fun whenever something like kind of glitches,
yeah.
because then they gotta like improvise, and you
Yeah.
see the real them.
You see the real them.
Yeah.
There's a couple of performers definitely get up there and it's a new show every time. But, to tell you the truth, I've seen a lot that past 4 years, not a lot of variation on
No.
what they do. Now that's more like Nashville kind of style.
Mhm.
Red Dirt, not so much. Red
Right.
Dirt, they get up there and they have a good time. They interact. The interaction with the crowd is like genuine.
Yeah.
I've seen so many shows. I've seen so many shows, and the one that has always stood out to me, I thought it was just a kick-ass show, was Coetzel.
Oh, really?
To me, that was one of my favorites. Coetzel, Kevin Fowler, dude, the guy gets up there and just kills it every
Oh, yeah.
time. It's probably the best guy with crowd interaction I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He was really good. Shane Smith and the Saints, really, really good. Good guys too. First time I don't know if it was first time or second time, it was a rain out. But what was cool was Shane, they put all the equipment up. Shane came over with an acoustic guitar and he played like undercover, which is sick. Like, dude, only guy I've ever seen do that. And, we've had like a ton of rainouts here.
Oh, yeah.
He was the only guy I've ever seen come down and like play, just not even like on a stage. I think he was sitting on one of the picnic tables and
Wow.
everyone just was around him listening. He was one of the only guys I've ever seen do that. Most guys, like as soon as it hits rain, they get back on that bus. I don't blame them. You want to keep that equipment safe. Equipment's expensive, but man, I've seen the craziest one was Pecos and the Rooftops.
Yeah.
I told you about that, didn't I?
Yeah.
That was one of the. It was the first time we ever had Pecos, and the show went pretty well. Pecos was he had like a bottle of Jack Daniels up there, and it was
Mhm.
getting pretty rowdy. It's a
Yeah.
rowdy crowd. That guy, Treaty Oak Revival, Giovanni and the Hired Guns, all rowdy crowds,
Yeah.
right? Always a good time though.
Yeah.
Really, really fun shows. But Pecos, towards the end of the show, he like got the mic stand and he threw it at our sound guy.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. The show wasn't bad, I would say, but I remember our sound guy talking about how this microphone stand like was inches away from his head, and Pecos threw it off, like broke it, and then show was done. Everyone was wrapping up. We were leaving. It was probably like 1 o'clock in the morning, like totally empty, right? Stage was done, like got all the equipment out. Sound guy was all done. He put the monitor up, and then we used to have that zip line tower, right?
Yeah.
So we were all sitting there kind of after the night, like talking. We should hear someone screaming, like bloody murder. And I shit you not, we looked up at that zipline tower and Pecos is like hanging off with one hand, hanging on with one hand,
Golly.
just screaming. And we're like, oh shit, like what's going on? And so all of a sudden, huge guy. If you don't know this guy, he's like, what, probably 6'5,
Yeah.
6'6", huge. He pulls himself up, and one of our security guys at the time's like, stay right there, don't move. And he's like, if you can catch me, runs down the zipline tower, jumps over this like 10-foot tall fence, and gets back on the bus. And I remember sitting there like, what is going on? Like
Yeah.
to see a guy who's like 6'5", 6'6", maneuver himself like this and hang off the zipline tower with one hand.
Yeah.
It was wild. And I think we've had him back one time since, but I think he was a lot tamer than what he was before. That was by far the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Starlight was great. A lot of people ask me like, "What's going on with Starlight? What are we doing?" And we took a year off. Starlight, I love Starlight. You know, it's like I got back from college and I came out here. You guys always came out to see the shows. It's not that I don't think. I think at some point it probably will be reactivated. But for right now, I really enjoy the restaurant. I like being down there. I like being a part of it. It's just hard to manage both properties and concerts. Whenever I got into concerts, I thought, oh, the restaurant. I never really jumped into the restaurant. I was always there, but I wasn't like a manager or anything like that.
Mhm.
And so I thought, wow, the restaurant must be so hard. The restaurant must be so much work. And then after doing Starlight, I went down there and started working. I was like, wow, like Starlight was tremendously harder.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you didn't know what to expect. And it was me and Tyler setting up and getting everything ready. Not to mention, I mean, you always had to deal with the weather too. Imagine if you had to do all the work you do at Shelby's. You have to bed it all on one day of the week. You have to hopefully have people there, or else it's all waste. Or you could have people there and you could be totally rained out. Those were always the factors that went into it. And not to mention, it was just me and Tyler. Me and Tyler were setting up all this stuff. And,
So if you have like a toilet go out or something, it's
yeah,
a
Kenny.
bad deal.
One time Kenny came back. It was super. What was that show?
I don't remember. It was
We were slammed. I was in the bar. I was making drinks, and Kenny was at the show. And Kenny comes back, goes, you gotta get in that bathroom. There's a toilet overflowing, and someone needs to do something about it. And I sat there, had a bottle of vodka in my hand and the cup, and I was just like, oh my god, this is a disaster.
You had that printer running just nonstop.
Just big scarf of tickets and drinks. That made me so scared. I'm gonna have to leave the bar and go fix the toilet. I still need to get you back for that, Kenny. I don't think I've ever gotten you back. And I've been planning on it too. You just wait. I'm gonna get you for that one.
Yeah, that was my best prank.
Yeah, but I could probably get you at Town Square with the toilet thing.
Yeah, maybe
at
so.
Shelby's, you're like, it's not my toilet, not my problem. Yeah, but man, and I would have had to stop and go work on a toilet while big ribbon of tickets need to be made. Yeah. But I don't know. Starlight, what I think will probably happen is Starlight will become part of the RV park and then be open regularly, like regular business, not just 1 or 2 days a week. Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Something to look for.
I met Julie out here.
You did?
Yep.
What show? Do you remember?
It was Casey Donahue.
Yeah, we've had Casey a lot. I remember I think the last time we had Casey, we were putting up, and this guy was like ripping through the park in an electric scooter. And I was like, "What the hell? Who is this guy?" Because dude, random people show up all the time and they
Oh,
do
yeah.
weird things here. And I was like, everyone was putting up, we're putting beers up, we're putting up the sound equipment, and just this guy was like going like 20, 25 miles an hour through the park on this scooter. And all of a sudden he stopped, and I was like, "Oh, it's Casey."
Yeah.
And Casey Donahue was just riding around on this scooter,
Mm,
like just having a great old time by himself.
yeah. Whenever I met her, I I originally so it was back in, like, 2018. I met her because, or I didn't really meet her, but I knew about her because she worked at the Rib Crib, and Rib Crib was right in front of my apartment, and so I'd go over there, like, every day, and I never really built up the courage to talk to
The
her, but
rib crib. It's over there by Blue Sky.
yeah,
Yeah.
on, Coulter,
Hmm.
yeah, and, so then, like, about a week before I met her here, she came into Shelby's, and I talked to her. I was like, "Aren't you the girl that worked at the Rib Crib?" And, she was like, "Yeah." And that was about where it ended. Like,
That was it.
she
Well,
she
at
didn't want
least,
any part of me.
you made
Yeah, I made the
you made a connection.
yeah,
Yeah.
the initial,
Yeah.
and then, whenever I met her out here, I got her number, and
That was it.
yep,
Wow.
so it was pretty cool.
So she went to Shelby's, and you saw her again here.
Yep,
It's meant to be.
yep.
Yeah. Sure, there's a lot of stories like that. People meeting people out here. I've seen people get proposed to
Oh,
out
really?
here. Yeah. Man, it does make me want to like get back into it and do all the shows and all that again. But maybe someday.
Yep.
Yeah. People always ask me though, what are we doing?
It was a fun deal.
It was a good deal.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't. We could always plan another season, but we'll see.
yeah.
You never know. What
Would
do you
you
think? You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, if you're ready.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Kenny.
Yeah, thank you.